Gang. All right. Are we officially live?
Yeah, bro. Yo, honestly, bro.
Make sure the levels. Did you make sure your voice levels are correct?
Yeah, I put the mic right in front of me. Honestly,
Okay.
bro, I might honestly have Corona as we speak. Not gonna lie, dude.
You might what? I'm sorry.
I might have Corona COVID-19 as we speak, brother.
Why is that? You sick?
Yeah, I'm sick, bro. What if I have it and I don't know because I'm not going to the doctor? Because if you go to the doctor with Corona, all they tell you is, yeah, just get some rest and drink water.
I mean, you get quarantined.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to do that.
I mean,
I'd rather
trying
just
to poison
spread.
everyone.
I'd rather just I'm gonna bring some people down with me, brother. I can't.
Stay away from me, bro. I'm healthy.
This ship can't sink alone. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. Talent team's going down. No more Rich Campbell and Lottie Van Pragi.
Bro, dead ass though. Dude, I was out the other day and I was talking to this one dude about coronavirus or whatever, just randomly talking about it because everybody is. And he was like, I don't know if this is a made up story or not, but he went, I heard a Chinese dude went into a bank and he robbed it by giving her a note saying, if you don't give me cash, I'm going to cough on you. There's no way that's legit, dude.
No, it's impossible. And that is racist. Holy shit.
Wait, why is that racist? I guess his race doesn't matter. He could have just said a man. But this guy was Chinese.
The race does matter. That's where it originated. China.
Okay. Does that make it racist? I don't think so.
Absolutely.
Nah, it's not racist.
Absolutely.
It's just racist has to do with the
if
story.
I just said I was going to cough on you, you'd be like, what?
Chat, we're just going to let a couple people load in here before we officially start this episode. We just let out the tweets. Thank you guys for loading in. I don't think that's racist, John. I think the race is just part of the story.
Yeah, the most important part.
No, it wasn't. The most important
If Doug coughed on me, I wouldn't even react. I'd be like, Doug, cover your fucking mouth. And then I would just keep moving. that would be the end of that.
Wait, so was she indirectly racist by giving him the cash, or was the guy telling the story racist for including the Chinese part?
What?
Did it go over
Both.
your head?
No, I mean, the story is just being told. Is the story being told through the eyes of the woman getting robbed?
No, some guy said that he heard that a Chinese guy went into a bank and coughed gave the teller.
Okay, so the story's fake. Yeah, the guy that's telling the story is racist.
Okay, but would that make the lady
it's
racist?
It's just a joke, though.
Because would a normal person, well, not normal person, would a non-racist person give that person the cash? Because I'm not just scared of every single person that's going to cough on me, you know what I'm saying? Doug, you see where I'm coming from? Or what are you reading?
I'm sorry. I actually was like responding to a private message real quick, and I'm completely out of this convo right now.
Don't worry about it. He's just fucking fugazing on the mic.
All right, quick question though. So, when I know I have to be up at a certain time the next day, I just randomly set my alarm, right? Like I don't right before. You know, how most people right before bed they set their alarm for what time they have to wake up. And I got called a psychopath for like walking around my room doing something and going like talking to I don't want to say the robot's name because it'll activate, but I said, robot, set an alarm for 5 a.m. because that's the time I have to be up at a random time of the night. Is that like a maniac tendency or is that normal?
To set an alarm?
Yeah, but like not right before bed. I got called a psychopath for that. So
I always set my alarm before I go to bed, way before I go to bed, just so I don't forget.
So
who called you the psychopath?
My girlfriend called me a psychopath for doing that. She said normal people set it right before they go to bed. So eat shit, dude. I know she's in the chat. Wait, Clay
said that's psychopathic.
I disagree fully. What if you fall asleep? And you're like, holy shit.
You see, Doug doesn't think it's psychopathic because he has some flavor, bro. Only Supreme Whites think it's
I've never met anyone in my life who hasn't said it right before bed. I'll be honest, I always set mine right before bed, but if somebody wanted to do it in the morning, I'm not going to call them a psychopath.
Here, also, if I usually set it before bed if I'm waking up at the same time that I normally wake up at. Because usually I wake up before my alarm anyways.
Yeah.
But if I'm setting my alarm for a time that's way earlier than I normally wake up, I'm definitely setting that way before I go to bed.
Yeah.
I agree with Frankie Mojo. It's really not that deep. If you want to set it when you're waking up, if you want to walk around and say, robot, do it, set it for 5, like, your life, bro. I don't think that's crazy.
But like I consistently do it like way earlier in the day. You know what I mean? Like if it's like 3 p.m. and I know tomorrow I have to be up at 7 a.m., like I'm going to set it at like 3 p.m. Like
that's your thing, bro.
Yeah,
people got to respect it. That's it.
All right, well, I think enough people are in here, and we've been talking about random shit. So let's start the episode. Welcome to the Codcast number 25, guys, where we talk about Call of Duty esports. And this time we have a very special guest named Doug Censor Martin. Sort of been the talk of town, talk of community for the last couple of days. What's up, dude?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm stressed out, man. I'm stressed out. My back physically hurts.
Got your backbone out?
Yeah, I just a lot, bro. A lot, man. I mean, since London, I could confidently say that there's not a person on planet Earth who has spent more time at a desk like playing or watching Modern Warfare than me. So yeah, I'm like physically in pain. Like, is this a thing when you get older? Like, I'm 25 and
Dude.
I feel like I'm in good shape, but I'm physically like my back hurts, bro.
So we are both just now starting to experience these pains as we hit like 25. John, as a person who's weathered the storm, I know you're about to be 48. So speaking to that, like things start to break down. You know, you start losing hair, like your smile gets smaller, you start hunching over, like it's painful.
None of this is true. None of what you said is true. You guys just need to get more active. Well, I don't know about Doug, but you need to get more active and actually do stuff with your life. Other than take care of your cat.
You sit behind TJ Halley and watch him scrim. Dude, listen, bro. Listen, bro. But Doug, dude, I've seen you grinding in 10s. Like every 10 series you're in there, and if you don't get picked, you're spectating. Like, do you think that it's given you good enough practice, like to the point where you're confident in your gameplay right now?
Yeah, I haven't played much domination, but I've watched as much domination as anyone in my situation could. Search and Destroy, I've played my entire life. I'm pretty confident even without practice in Search. Hardpoint, yeah, I'd say I'm pretty confident in Hardpoint. I played a lot of it. I actually look back at my VODs and I watch how many series I played. I played like 40 series in the past like 2.5 weeks. So I played a lot, bro. Yeah, I played a shit ton. And think about like that's how many times I got picked, and then think about how many times I wasn't picked. And every time I wasn't picked, I watched. So like yeah, like when I put my mind to something, I just tunnel vision on it. Like my girlfriend was upset. She was like, "What the fuck, Doug? Like you can't be going to bed at 6 a.m. and waking up at like 11."
Well, she's right though. You can't be doing that.
She is right, man. Absolutely. Like I can't. So something has to change soon. But at the same time, like you know, it's unfortunate. You know, being a sub, we all know it's tough, but there's nothing you can really do other than just being around 10s all the time, right? Like being around your team scrims, watch them scrim. If somebody was sick for the day or if something happened, you get to maybe fill in for the team. Never
happened.
Have you
done that yet? Oh no.
No, I haven't been able to, unfortunately. But just you know, I'm as a person who set their whole life back up to get back into Call of Duty. I use Call of Duty as a platform to like branch out and like make a career for myself. And I kind of got like pushed away from Call of Duty and like forced into YouTube, which wasn't a bad thing at all. It was a blessing, right? But my heart was always here. So to like transition my entire life and make a lot of different changes in my life to be back here, every day counts. Every second counts. Every 10s counts. Every opportunity counts. And I'm just looking to get every single opportunity that I possibly can, be the best version of myself every day, and just work hard and just see what happens, you know? I just know that if you work really hard and you really put your mind to something, more chances than not, you're going to get an opportunity. And when you do, it's up to you to show up. So that's really what I'm looking for.
That's a great mentality. I think a lot of people don't have that. And but before you talk more about that stuff, let's like rewind a little bit because I think people forget like how we got to this point. So like in the off season, like you didn't play like last year you weren't playing, and then like
I played Blackout a lot. Like I got Dark Matter and Blackout, bro. I collected paint cans. No, I didn't play competitive, but I was around. Like I was playing more COD than a lot of pros probably were last year.
Why did you not play like Black Ops 4? Like what made you not play?
I say there was 3 reasons why I didn't play in Black Ops 4. Reason number 1, I was supposed to be the captain of Evil Geniuses, and I made the team, and then I got dropped off the team because Fellow got dropped from United, and he took my spot. Reason number 2, I was in the middle of still renovating my home, and reason number 3, I was starting a new relationship with my girl, and I just felt like between the renovations, between getting shafted out of the team that I built, and I was like, all right, like I worked my way up in World War II. I became the first player ever, besides for Crowder, who just immediately got picked up on a team. I became the first player to ever retire for 3 years and then come back and make the league in a game, and that was so hard. So I know like the work that it takes, but between like my house renovations getting done, starting a new relationship, and being shafted from my team last minute, I didn't feel like working my way up through the ranks again at that current time. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to finish up my life and like my renovations and my house and, get my actual life together.
Yeah.
And then when it is together, I'm going to come back full force next year. And I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for it. I'm going to get roasted for it, but
Yeah,
I'm just
definitely.
going to take it on the head and just grind,
That's where I wanted to like follow up is like a lot of people when they don't when a player doesn't play for a year, they pretty much get excommunicated after that. Like they don't get another opportunity. So I feel like, like all the time you're talking about how, you're dedicated, you put in all these hours, and there will be months and times where you are doing that, but it poses the question like how dedicated are you actually when you do stuff like that? And I feel like it's held your career back if legitimately what you want to do is come back and play by taking years off like every other year and then trying to restart that process. And that had to be something you thought about like coming into this year.
Absolutely, bro. Like cause like the way I saw the whole past 5 years for me, it's like I won on the highest level, got kicked off my team the same day. I don't think there's ever been a player in history who's been kicked off their team after winning the same day, like me.
Oh, Embo's the only other one.
Yeah, but like mine was at a
By
major.
Yeah,
Mine was at a major, bro, and like I beat some of the best players, and I got kicked off that same day. I thought I got done really dirty, and I got forced out. Like I completely got forced out. It was like, all right, you could stay in phase and be a content creator, or I could like leave and join any other top team because I was on the top. And I was like, no, like I can't join a top team. I have to like focus on my career and like content. Like that's what's gonna make me have a sustainable career. But it always hurt me. Like it always like really stuck with me, and I knew that there was gonna be a time when I was gonna come back. And I did in World War II, and then in Black Ops 4, I knew like if I wanted to grind my way back up again, like people would really respect it. But I just felt like I feel like I'm not in the same situation as many other pros, and that might be a worry to some, like if I could just say, hey, like I got my life figured out, I don't need to play for a source of revenue like 95% of the league players do. Like I could just leave at any time. That might hurt me, right? Like people might see that as like a hinder, but the way I see it, it's like the fact that we have franchising and we have these guaranteed contracts in place and sustainable futures and careers for not only like myself and all these other players, I just see it as something that's never going to go anywhere. And I want to use this whole platform that I built.
Hurts you because it doesn't hurt Scump, right? It doesn't hurt Formal. It doesn't hurt these other guys who don't need to play anymore. So I don't think that part hurts you. I think it's really just a dedication thing. And in this offseason, you had to make a decision. So like, how was the offseason for you? Like going into this year, like when did you decide you wanted to come back, and like what steps did you take?
I wanted to come back since like, I never wanted to leave in Black Ops 4, but I just knew like, all right, I had a whole plan. It was like, get the house done, stream Blackout, stay relevant with Call of Duty in some way, like stream it, YouTube videos, hanging around pros, going to events, whatever, and then come back full force next year with franchising. So, New York hit me up really early. Like they hit me up before before I made a single video about saying I wanted to come back. Like New York wanted me since day one. And I always wanted to go to New York, but I wanted to obviously see if I could start first. I had a couple of potential starting spots in the beginning of the year, but they all fell through. And I said, all right, like New York it is. Let's take the sub spot. Let's work our way back up, and let's see how it goes.
John,
did the franchise hit you up first, or was it any of the players on the team that wanted to?
Oh, dude, like, no, none of these players hit me up, bro. No, the franchise hit me up.
Was there
the
any
franchise
team,
wanted me here?
Was there any team of players that hit you up themselves to be a sub, or no? As opposed to the franchise doing it?
Yeah, one team, I talked to every single team, and every single team for the most part was interested in having me on some level. There's only one team who said no to me and didn't even want to take a call with me. I'm not going to say this on the podcast, though, but there was one team in this league that didn't even want to take a phone call, which was just astonishing to me.
Why would you not say that? That's great content.
They don't want to.
I just don't believe in like throwing people under the bus, but
that's not throwing under the bus. How's it throwing under the bus? They didn't want to take a phone call at you?
They didn't want to take a phone call at me, but every other team was pretty interested because of my following, obviously. So my key was like, all right, I have the following, I have the brand. So, obviously being a starter is the priority, but if that's not going to happen, which I don't think it will, then just be a sub and work your way up,
So you had to make a decision in your mind, like, okay, the best route for me is to go to the franchises directly, right? Like that. If I was you, that's the way I would think. It's like, I'm just gonna fuck these players, bro. I don't fuck with these guys. I'm gonna hit up the franchise directly. I'm gonna have them pick me up. Like that would have been my goal.
100%. That's what I did. I didn't worry about the players. I knew everyone was gonna see me as a joke who sucks, who like retires and comes back. I know how people feel about me. So it's like, all right, like let me use my brand to get on a team. Who else would like who's not gonna do that in my shoes, right?
You use the tools that you have to get to where you need to be. I think that people that hate on stuff like that they don't live in the real world at all. So,
right. Yep.
Using your brand as something that you built to get on a team is smart.
Absolutely.
Right? That's how the world works.
And it had to be really tough though, because you had to leave FaZe, right? So like, We all know.
No, it wasn't hard at all, honestly.
Really?
It was not hard at all. No, I reached a breaking point a long time ago. At first it was, yeah, at first I was like, all right, like, let's see what we could do here, private conversations, Doug, you're the captain of FaZe. If our players on this team don't want it, if Zoom and Attach, like going into World War II specifically, I'm sitting at a table with the owners of FaZe Clan, with the CEO of FaZe Clan, and I've been pitching them since day one when they kicked me off the team that I wanted to have an opportunity. I don't care if I'm on an academy team. I don't care if I'm on a B team. I don't care if I'm a substitute. Just give me some form of an opportunity. All I did was win y'all championships, and you dropped me, and you never explained why. Like, I don't care about any of that. Just give me an opportunity. They're like, you know what, Doug? Our team hasn't won in 2 years. Looked me dead in the eyes. He said, you're the captain. We're giving you this roster for the year. If Zoom and Attach don't like it, then we'll get rid of them, and it's your team. You can do what you want with it. We're giving you the keys for the year. And I cried tears of joy. I was so happy.
That guy was like, let's just end this conversation. He was like, tell this guy what he wants to hear.
Oh my God. It was like hearing the Holy Grail. I'm like, wait, so like everything, all I wanted to do was like build a brand through COD and like build it up with FaZe, and they're finally giving it to me again after they took it away from me. I'm like, fantastic. And then they took it back again.
So at the beginning, this is before World War II releases, you were expecting to be able to form whatever team you wanted under FaZe? Or were you joining a team of like Enable, Zuma, and Attach, or whatever the hell that the team started at World War II? Were you joining the team?
No, I was the captain, and Zuma and Attach were the only two players on the team. Because Clay, I think Clay wasn't on the team at this point. I think Enable also wasn't on the team. I think Zuma and Attach were the only two at that time.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
So they were saying it's up to you to pick up whatever fourth that you feel fit.
They said I could either keep Zoom and Attach. They said that if Zoom and Attach don't want to play with me, that's fine. We'll get rid of Zoom and Attach, and I can make my own team. They said whatever I felt like doing, I'm the captain. I have control of the team, and they're going to give me a year with it.
So basically, all this bullshit that happened, you were fed up with FaZe, so it was an easy decision to leave and go somewhere else, right? Like when it came time in this offseason.
It can be. I mean, but you also became an extremely successful content creator under FaZe. Like what stopped you from joining Atlanta FaZe as a sub and continuing that and staying under the FaZe brand? If you're just going to go somewhere else and be a sub.
I thought that was another option I considered too. So I was, talking to them about it, and I said, listen, if you guys have a team, I'd love to be on the team. If I can't be on the starting roster, I'd love to be on the sub spot. If there's, not a sub spot available, I'd love to be on an academy team.
There, though. So
it doesn't even matter though. Like, you have to ask the question. It doesn't hurt to ask. I was like, whatever opportunity you have, I'd love to, stay in the brand. I'd love to do whatever I can and, help build FaZe up because, FaZe built me up. So I want to help build FaZe up. And, I've become a really successful person outside of competitive Call of Duty after playing. And I want to be able to use what I've built to help bring more people back into this scene because I really care about the Call of Duty community. I want to see this thing thrive and succeed. I want to help out, other kids that are coming up that don't have careers or anything right now, and I want to help teach them and mentor them and guide them and put them in situations where they could have success so they could be better than me one day. I care about that stuff. So I told them, I was like, listen, I got offers to join some teams. I might want to take them, but I'd love to stay in this brand if I can. If there's any opportunities, just let me know. And they just never said anything to me. So it's like, all right, if that's the case, then I'm out.
So when you hit up New York, like, how was their reaction? Were they with it from the get go, or how'd that go?
Yeah, New York was the first team to contact me. I saw the owner at Champs. I went to Champs to do a fan meetup and just see some people. And I saw them right there, and they wanted to talk to me right away. And they were the very first team that I met with. And they were very interested, and they definitely wanted me to be here. And I strongly was considering New York at the time because it's obviously home. I love New York. I never want to leave. But I'll go wherever I need to. Like, my mindset is I want the best opportunity where I could find success. And for me, I thought there was a couple of options, and then they all, potentially I was going to make a team with Paris, and I was looking at getting players like Kismet and Aqua and Zed. I
remember
really
you
was
told
keen
me
on
that
those
you were
guys.
about to join Paris, yeah.
I was really keen on those guys over there. I really wanted Kismet, Zed, and Aqua, and they were interested in Alex, and I was like, yo, Alex is a beast. Let's do that 100%. But things went weird with the team, and just never happened. And I was like, all right, New York it is. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, and when you talk to them about everything, because I'm just trying to go step by steps. Like, when you talk to them about everything, like, what was your like role on the team? Like, were you a substitute who was like next up? Like, you're the guy. Like, if you put in the time, we're gonna have you come in. Or were you put on the team as like a substitute who's like gonna make content with the team, be a part of the team, be a part of the brand? Like, how was that discussion, or was it not really defined?
It was very defined. I spoke with the owner of New York. He said, Doug, we'd love to have you on this team. Love to have you a part of our organization. And I said, okay, well, I want to play. I understand many players don't want to play with me. They're going to have to, see me work my way back up. But I understand the long-term goal. I know you guys want me here to build this team's brand up and to, sell tickets at events and, get people behind our team. I'm totally for it. And I'm willing to be patient. I'll wait. I'll sit on the bench for a full year. But during that time, I'm going to be working harder than anyone in this league is. And if opportunities come up, I want to be able to have a chance to take advantage of them. So that was very clear. They said, we can't guarantee you playing time. We'll put you on the sub spot. We obviously want to, build this thing up together. I was like, yep, I'm all in, dude. Let's do it. Like, let's use this brand that I built. Let's build the subliners up. Let's make this team the coolest, biggest team in the world. I'm in. I'm going to be the sub. I want to make it very clear to you guys. Like, I'm not expecting you to do anything for me, but I'm going to be working my ass off. And if there's ever any opportunities at all, like, I want to have a fair shot at them. So I was ready. I'm grinding, and I'm just going to stay as ready as I can.
So that's why I wonder why you didn't go towards a team where the players contacted you and like really liked playing with you or something like that, as opposed to the franchise. So if the franchise hits you up, obviously they're looking towards your brand. But if the players hit you up, that means at least at some point, at least someone on the team feels like you could actually be an asset to the team in game, as opposed to just being Doug Censor Martin, Gymshark and all that crap. Like, why wouldn't you go towards a team with? No, seriously, why wouldn't you go to a team with players that want to hit you up as opposed to franchise?
I just think the league is changing, and although the players do have a lot of power, which we all know, I do know that over time, it's going to be more so on the organization instead of the players. And for me, I personally would rather stay home in New York and build my team from my own city up, as opposed to taking a risk and having to relocate where I live, because there was opportunities for me to go to different places and be a sub, and maybe I'd have a better chance at starting in those spots. But I did not want to relocate if I was just going to be a substitute. If I was going to be a starter, I would have. So that was the breaking point for me. I had to do what I had to do to stay home,
That makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't want to move either. Like, you were just talking about renovations for your house and whatnot, and then just to move to, I don't even know where those spots are, but I'm Minnesota or something. That would just be ridiculous to be a sub.
So, to be a sub, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If New York didn't offer you a spot and somebody else offered you to be a sub, since you do want to be a pro sub, would you have moved?
No, I wouldn't have taken a sub spot on any other team but New York.
Oh, okay. Or FaZe, right? Like, you did FaZe, all right?
I would have done FaZe, but they just, I'm very clear with communication. I'm very direct with people, and FaZe was not direct towards me. They just kept me completely in the dark. And, it's just, I don't like being left in the dark, and I just can't be a part of things like that.
So getting to the juicier part, New York starts to not perform, right? And for you, that's a great thing, I guess, in terms of like trying to play and be a starter on the team. So you've been putting in a ton of time in light of the situation, like being like, hey guys, like, I'm here to help you guys get better, but I'm also here to play if you need me. And they benched Zero. Can you talk a little bit about why Zero was benched? Because I don't think there was an official statement as to why he was benched. So whatever you can say, I guess I would ask you to say what you can about the Zero situation.
Yeah, I wasn't a part of that conversation, so I can't talk too much into detail about it. All I will say about it is that the team felt that it was the best decision to move forward with Happy. There's nothing more I could really say about it. And even if I didn't know more, I don't even know if I would.
The players, the organization, or like who was influencing all this? Like, because you said that you think the league's changing and that the franchises are making these decisions, or is it players making these decisions still?
I think right now players still hold a lot of weight, but I think as time continues to go on, the culture that we've had built up in these past decade, 12 years or so, is going to start changing, and I think it might take a year to 2 years. But right now, I still think the players do have a lot of control, and at the end of the day, if a team doesn't want to play with a guy, you know how it is. If four guys are going to go to an ownership and say, we just don't want to play with this person, and we just don't think it's the best fit for the team, and we think this guy is, there's a really good chance that whoever that guy is that they say is going to get an opportunity to play.
Yeah. Would you have wanted it to be handled a little bit differently?
What do you mean?
Did you scrim at all with the squad? Like, how did the whole them deciding to put Happy in go? Like, would you have wanted it to be handled a little bit differently? Are you happy with how it was handled?
I didn't hear anything from the team. I heard rumors that Trey was going to get benched. So
you didn't hear anything from the team. That already sounds like an issue, doesn't it?
It doesn't matter. I mean, the team wanted to play with Suda, so the team wants to play with Suda. I would love to get a day of practice. I never asked the starters to get like I never went to any of the players behind closed doors, or I never texted anyone, or I never like went out with one guy one-on-one and said, yo, dude, like get me on this team, like, because I know how this thing works and it always gets back to you. So I always just sit in my lane and I wait. But like I want to get all the practice I can. So if there's 10s, every time there's 10s, I'm like, yo, I want to get some practice. Let's play some games. I saw that Trey was gonna get benched. I was like, oh wow, like you kidding me? Like first, like whoa, like I think Trey is great. Like I don't think we should do that, but like that I'm not a part of this conversation.
Hold on, listen. Remove yourself from the situation, and John too. I want you to both be there because I'm gonna start asking Doug questions, and then I'm gonna translate what Doug's actually saying to the viewers. But first, I'm gonna ask you guys both a question. Remove yourself from everything and think about it like this: if you're the GM of New York, like, what would you guys have done in this situation? Would you have subbed out Zero? Like, what would you guys have done? I'll start with you, Doug, and then we'll go to John after.
I'm in the situation.
No, but remove yourself from it.
It's hard for him to take himself out of a situation.
Wait, why can you not? No. As a player, why can you not give your opinion on if you're the GM?
All right,
what you
I'll
would
give
do?
you my
Why
opinion
not?
on it.
Why are you so scared? Who has you?
No, if I'm a general manager and my team doesn't want to play with a guy, I'm sitting down the whole team and I'm saying, all right, this is the potential options that we have. We have, in New York's case, we have Censor on the bench. We have Suda on the bench. We could potentially sign somebody. We could trade for somebody. It all depends on the timing. We have LA coming up in a couple of days. So if I'm a general manager of a team, I'm going to try to work through the issue, whatever it might be. And again, I don't have info. I'm not a part of the starting five. I don't go into the office every day. I don't know what goes on, and it's not for me to talk about that. But if I'm a GM of a team, I'm going to make sure that if a whole team is really set on not playing with somebody, I'd want to have that validation throughout the entire group in person.
With the subs there on Skype or something too, like that's
no, I would do it in person. I think that's super important because your team, not only does it represent your city, it represents the league, but also you're trying to get these points and you want to put out the best possible team to get you as many possible points as possible, because we're going to champs at the end of the year, and if you're top 4, you have a great chance of winning the entire world championship. So every single event matters, every single match on LAN matters, every single amount of these CDL points matter. So if there's going to be a roster change in any way, whether it's a trade, if you're benching somebody, if you're putting a sub in, that's going to be something that not only is going to be like agreed upon throughout the team and the management, the coaches, whatever, but it's also going to be slept on, and then everyone's going to have to reconfirm it. Like that's how I would handle that, because I know how it is as a COD pro. Like your emotions get the head of you. Sometimes, people go through slumps, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So translation.
So I would make sure that everyone's 100% on it.
Are you translating his answer?
Translation from Doug is like, listen, players get hot-headed. They don't know what they're talking about all the fucking time. So I'm going to sit everybody down in the room and I'm going to say, listen, this is our options. This is realistically what we can do. So if you guys are not willing to play with this guy, if you get clapped this weekend with this guy's going to come in the next weekend while we work on trying to find your replacement. What Doug's saying, he wants everybody to be under a mutual understanding and everybody to be there and be aware of what's happening and nobody to be playing games, is what he's saying, which is pretty much probably
100%. 100%.
If 4 people don't want to play with one guy on a team, you're setting up that guy for failure pretty much 100%. Like, everything that the guy says is going to be undermined. They just don't listen to him. And if the whole entire team is dead set on this guy not being there,
you got to gauge that, though, Pac.
It's not a good culture for that guy, and it's not a good culture for the team.
But that's also not a culture that should fly on a team either, though.
Let me give you. First of all,
I wouldn't let that mentality start at all if I was running a team.
I agree with Ant.
I would shut that shit down.
You can't even let that start, bro.
That's horseshit. In the history of competition, unless your team is at the top or near the top, there's always going to be like some sort of talk or some sort of digression amongst the team about someone on the team.
Whoa!
I've never heard of any team.
Hold on, but let me contest that.
That's a really good question.
But it's usually a player that's on the team that's getting shit on, or not performing, which is why. And then you have like something to validate it. If it's somebody who's not actually playing yet, like then it's kind of like unwarranted.
What do you mean that? No, I mean, but Trey played He played the Minnesota. And
okay, but fair. Like,
but I don't even know if he played the worst or whatever their situation is amongst their team.
Either way, though, like
at that point,
but at that point,
bad culture for Trey.
If the organization goes, okay, maybe they do need a change because they're not performing, like fair, they can validate it somehow. But if it's a player who hasn't even played yet, how can you validate it to the point where it's like, yo, we're not even going to give this guy an opportunity and he's on our team? Like that just makes your organization look bad.
Who hasn't played yet?
No, what I'm saying is if that's the way the conversation went, because the way what we're talking about is if the players are refusing to give Doug an opportunity at all, then that's actually fucked up.
I mean,
that's
so you're saying that they should play scrims with both of their substitutes if that's what it comes down to, and see what fits better.
Yeah, or have some sort of plan where it's like, all right, we'll play with Happy here and we'll play with Doug here, or like we're just using Happy as a stand-in because we're working on getting another player. Like either way, Doug should just be aware of what's going on, is what I'm saying. He should be aware of what's happening, so him as a substitute player is not in limbo, so he's not out here grinding with no absolute chance of playing. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
and I think that's how that should.
But I mean, they basically have they told you, Doug, that you're basically at this point? Do you think that you have a chance of playing for this Subliners team at some point during the season?
100%. Yeah.
You still believe that? Okay. Well.
Oh yeah, you dude. Listen.
I'm not saying you don't.
I think how it is, man. It's like it's all about how you're gonna perceive yourself. You know, if you're gonna think of yourself as a loser, or if you're gonna think of yourself as a quitter, or if you're gonna think of yourself as someone who's not confident.
You see the way
enough,
he answered that though, John. Like it's different from the way that you're.
The way that I asked. The way that I asked the question. I never asked you if you thought you were a loser or any of that.
Yeah. Like what he's asking you, Doug, is like.
I think anything is possible.
No,
yeah,
I know, and that's how you answer. Like, yeah, absolutely. But what John's saying is like, do you think these players are gonna crack and allow you to come and play with them? Is what he's asking. Like, or without the franchise like saying Doug's playing. You get what I'm saying?
I honestly, it doesn't like. I don't know how the players feel or think. They don't tell me anything. You know, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The only thing that I can do is put in the work, you know? Like, I'm putting in the work. I'm going to continue to put in the work, and we'll see what happens from it. Like,
Doug,
definitely don't think it's unreal. Like, for me to tell you that there's a 100% chance I'm not playing with subliners would be super ignorant for me to say, because for someone like me who works as hard as I do and is going to put in consistent work and is always looking for an opportunity, like, I've been in so many situations throughout life where I've had nothing and I've made it into something really big. So like right now I'm a substitute. You know, right now a lot of players and a lot of fans out there don't think I'm that great. They just don't think much of me, but that's up to me to change it. You know, at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to put in the work. And maybe if my teammates don't respect me as a player or person, whatever the case may be, that's something that could also change over time too. So if you're gonna like sit there and dwell on how people think or feel about you, you're never gonna be able to grow and advance to where you want to go. So you always have to be open to all.
Not disputing that
more, but I don't think that it matters what people think about you, because people have no clue what you do and how like hard you work or whatever. But what matters is what those players on New York think. And like Censor in the chat said, I don't think any of those players on New York are going to want to play with Doug. And that's where I think the issue comes in. I don't think the players want to play with you, because has Suda even played this game at all? Like before being put in to the starting role for the time being.
Doug doesn't have to say anything, but from what I heard, Suda's not.
Doug has obviously put in more work than Suda to this point, and they still didn't even give you the chance to play.
But I will say, I do think Suda was like the guy who was next up the whole time in their minds.
But why?
Players. I don't know why. And so you're agreeing. So you're agreeing with me, John. Like what I was saying before is like that's where the franchise puts their foot down and goes like, "Yo, like we're giving both these guys an opportunity. Like we have this guy for a reason." And it sounds like that wasn't translated properly. But
I mean, that's the franchise's perspective. I don't know if it has to do with like a team decision, a Revin and JP decision, but whatever it is, it's not like they had much time to scrim either way. So they probably had to make a decision on which sub to use, and they did that. But I'm assuming, I don't know exactly, I can't speak on it, but I'm assuming that New York doesn't plan to go forward the rest of the season with Suda as their fifth. I assume they're making some sort of trade or a signing or something like that. I don't know if that's been made public or whatever, but.
So you never answered though, John, because Doug answered. He said he would sat everybody down and talked to them about it. And everybody would have been aware of the plan.
Of New York?
Yeah. So what would you have done?
Well, first off, if I'm not in touch with what's happening, if I'm not in the scrims every day, I would sit down and talk to whoever my captain is and Revin and JP and hear them out. I don't feel like when you sit around a bunch of people, it gets anything done. I really don't. Because everyone's pretty much afraid to say what they need to say in a room full of people. People are like pussies like that. So I'll sit them down and like hear them all out and hear what they have to say. And then if the consensus was we cannot play with Trey, we cannot play with Zero anymore. As a GM, I would try to find a trade for him. Realistically, I would. If I was a GM, I probably wouldn't try to start Doug or Suda. I'll try to find a trade. Now, if I couldn't find a trade, most likely I would force them to go to the tournament with Trey, because that's who they put in the most practice.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's most likely what I would have done. But if I was picking a sub, I would have forced them to play like a set of scrims a day with both subs.
Yeah, I would feel like you got to be fair to your subs, right? Because you don't know who's like who's gonna be the right fit. And I would have forced them to play with both players. But anyways, I would have just forced him to play with Chad. I'd be like, listen, motherfuckers, this is what's gonna happen. Like, he's going to event with you guys. Like, it's period. And anybody who doesn't try is like, your ass is on the line at that point.
I mean, it's your job, it's your career, you have to try. I don't know.
These guys are cashing out, bro. Like, there's just no excuse at this point to be a diva. But yeah, so for you, Doug, like, to get onto this team, like, what's your plan? You're just gonna keep on grinding, keep on playing these 10s, and hopefully prove yourself to them and make a playback for the starting roster?
Well, I think it's hard because when you only play 10s, you only get to play hardpoint. You can't play search and destroy or dom. It's really good now that CDL or CMG now has CDL enforced rules. So I'm going to be playing a lot of S&D tournaments every single day. First one on, last one off in 10s every day. Possibly, I saw Clayster put in the chat earlier, like, Doug, if you really want to be a starter, why don't you compete on a Path to Pro team?
Yeah,
that's another option I want to look into because our team doesn't have an affiliate team. We don't have a Path to Pro team, so I can't play Path to Pro if I wanted to. It's like really all the cards are really against me in the situation. So in order for me to just get to the end goal, it's, you talk to New York about a Path to Pro team. See if you could start one or get affiliated with one, go to those tournaments and perform and play well. And if you win them, you're back on the radar. Playing every search and destroy tournament, playing 10s. If ideally, I think the best thing is if you could get a Path to Pro team, compete, play with them, and on top of that, play S&D tournaments, play in 10s. That's like the trifecta. And if you could really dedicate all your time to doing that, you're probably going to be successful and things are probably going to work out. So I think it's a combination of that and being patient.
I think that's a good plan, brother. Hopefully it works out.
When you signed with New York, did you know that you wouldn't be able to play Path to Pro?
I didn't know that at first, no.
Okay.
I mean, it probably was like a work in progress.
I don't think the rules were even like
out. The rules were not very clear. The rules weren't very clear because we signed Optic signed 2 subs with the intention of letting them both play Path to Pro, but only one of them can. Like, the rules were not very clear at the start.
So Doug, we all know your dad lets out some crazy videos and tweets whenever stuff.
Yeah, that's so embarrassing, bro.
No, I think it's amazing. I actually talked to you about this yesterday. I don't think you should have taken it down. I think it was amazing. I think it was great for the sport. I think it was amazing. He put out an Instagram picture of just the New York Subliners logo. NYSL equals the Friends team. And he goes, God. NYSL breakdown, accuracy. I'm going to go down the list and you tell me, like, confirm or deny these are, like, good descriptions of the players. Accuracy, tyrant, loser, bad leader.
Deny.
Temp, hothead, bad team player.
I'll agree with the hothead. He's definitely a hothead.
Attach, lackey. What does lackey mean?
Can someone in the chat answer that? I don't know.
Lackey, Lamar ass kisser.
I think no, that's not true at all. He's not a Lamar ass kisser. That's
kind of, I don't know what lackey means, so I don't want to say facts, but the Lamar ass kisser, probably facts. Zuma.
I don't agree with that.
I'm joking. Zuma, champ, nice guy, needs spine.
He basically called Zuma a pussy.
He called him a spineless pussy, yeah. 0, poor team choice, champ. Wow, that's kind of nice. And then happy, clearly ill-prepared. Censor, 4-time champ, proven leader, motivator, clear leader, NYSL solution, question mark? It says pain as the nose on your face.
Before we go into this, before we hear the Doug spin on this, I'm going to say, how would your dad know these things about your team in scrims?
So, my dad, listen, my dad is the #1 COD fan. If you guys don't know Papa Censor, this guy is on every Reddit page. This guy watches every single one of my live streams.
That's because Doug's on FaceTime, like, bro. This guy Temp is just a hot-headed motherfucker.
You can be the biggest COD fan in the world. You can be the biggest COD fan in the world, but New York doesn't stream scrims. So how would he know how Temp was in practice if you didn't tell him? How would he know how Lamar is in practice? How would he know?
He never said anything about their practice.
I mean, before you said he's like the tyrant. How would he know that? How would anyone know that about Lamar?
I think my dad made those because, again, like, I didn't even know my dad posted that. He just went rogue and did that. Like, I couldn't even believe he did that, to be honest with you guys. Because I tell my dad the things that I go through, and I vent to my dad. But the things that I say to my dad about my teammates isn't the things that my dad put out on the internet. Like, if you guys have ever sat down with my father, you know the type of person he is. He's like me, except even more out there and even more of a hothead. Because I think I'm pretty cool, calm, and collected. My dad likes to just jump to the conclusion all the time. So like I'll be like, yo, Dad, Lamar didn't pick me in tens today. He's like, are you fucking serious, man? What the fuck is wrong with that guy, man? Like he says some crazy things, man. And it all comes from love. You know, he obviously cares a lot, but like now everyone on my team thinks that I think that about them, and it's not even the truth, and nothing's gonna change their mind on it. So it's like, what am I gonna do here?
Did you wake up to like a bunch of posts or something about what your dad said, or did you see it?
I didn't see it. I woke up and I had like 13 text messages, 7 missed calls. You know, my dad was a couple of them. I woke up at like 11 o'clock. I went to bed at like 6:30 in the morning, just dead.
Bro,
and,
who cares? Why are the players mad about this post that your dad made?
Tommy, I don't think you're a pussy, man. I don't think you're a pussy, dude.
Dude, are the players mad about this post that your dad made, Doug? Can you even speak to that or no?
I would assume they are. I mean,
why? Maybe then Zuma does need a spine. Are you actually mad about this, Tommy?
Wait. Are you bullshitting right now, Ant?
What? How am I bullshitting?
What do you mean? I'm not saying that they need to be like mad at Doug's dad, but how do you expect them to not react? Like the very next day on TeamSpeak, they all went on and changed their names.
I wouldn't give a fuck if one of my teammates' dad was roasting me, bro. I mean,
like my dad thinks
you got with Brack's dad last year.
No, Brack's dad. No, that was Havoc's dad. Havoc's dad.
Havoc's dad.
Here's a funny story, actually.
Sorry, Brack.
Havoc's dad was DMing me when I dropped Havoc, or when I was trying to drop Havoc, and we were going back and forth. And I said like the meanest thing to him because he made me so mad. He was talking mad shit. I was like, well, maybe. I said, well, maybe Havoc's such a pussy because he was raised by one, and we had like the craziest.
Yo, can I say something real quick?
I don't know why anybody would be mad.
I think my dad, obviously, like, people are gonna think it's funny. I think the players are probably gonna be upset. Obviously, the first reaction is probably gonna be like upset, like, damn, like this is how this guy really feels. I genuinely thought that like all of them were kind of, in a way, like harmless, but I thought what he said about Lamar was kind of fucked up.
Havoc's
like, to call somebody a tyrant is pretty powerful.
Like
and like
he's the homie,
to call them a loser too is like really petty. So I felt really bad. So, like, I actually reached out to Lamar and I apologized for him personally because I was like, yo, you don't deserve that, bro. Like, that's just fucked up, you know? But again, like, it's just super embarrassing because, you know, it's my dad, and like I'll talk to my dad about everything. I'll tell him how I really feel about things. So you guys won't know how my dad is unless if you were in the private combos with him, and it's obviously just going to be a thing where you have to take things at face value. You can make your own opinions on them, but I've never told my dad any of those things that he said about those players. I would tell my dad how I don't get picked in tens by my teammates. I'll tell my dad that I really want to get practice time, you know, but like I don't go around like calling my dad up saying, can you believe this fucking guy Dylan? He's Lamar's ass kisser, man. Like I don't know. Like, if you guys know me, you know, like, I don't talk like that. So
no, I know.
It's just not me.
But like, maybe it's like, I feel like some of these things, there's no way for him to know. Like the Lamar ass kisser, maybe it was like, yeah, I think Attach and Lamar are just great.
Wait, no, like, all right. So here's my thing. Like, if you all sat in a room with me and my dad, you'll see how different we really are.
Yeah.
Lamar and Dylan are very close, and like I know that. Like, they came up together, they became pros together, they lived in Cali together. And obviously, there's going to be some sort of a friendship there, right? But, like, that doesn't make Dylan an ass kisser. So, like, when my dad goes down and calls him an ass kisser, the first thing Dylan is going to think is, this fucking guy is really calling his dad up, calling me an ass kisser? Like, damn, really? And then, like, he has to see me at a team dinner and look at me in the eyes. It's like, this is awkward, man. Like, no, like, I don't think you're a freaking ass kisser, bro. Like, I don't know. It's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing.
I think the full New York starting roster is just soft, bro. If they're mad at that tweet or Instagram post, period.
I mean, we had a team dinner and everything's okay. Like, it's just awkward because like my dad, he deleted his socials too, which is a good thing because like he can't be doing that.
Tell him to put him back up and keep doing that stuff. That's great.
No, he felt bad. Great. He was like, dude,
he
like
should
I
not
can't
feel bad.
He thought he was gonna cost me a league spot. Like, he actually thought I was gonna get kicked off my team for this. And I'm like, Dad, first of all, I'm not getting kicked off my team, but you're making me look like an ass. Like,
I hope he's watching this, and he should not be mad at PostNet, and he should continue to post stuff like that.
You were saying that as an entertainer, because as a person who's part of a team, that's not good for Doug.
No, it's not good, dude. Like, I'm an entertainer and I'm a player, but like my dad is very entertaining, very funny. And if you guys know him, you'd probably laugh at that post. And it's obviously coming from his heart, and like he really just wants me to get out there. But like how far does that go? You know, like realistically speaking, in terms of professionalism, like you set that precedent, you do that, and like I accept that and I laugh about it, then my dad's gonna continue doing it. And how far is that gonna go? Like, what's the breaking point there? So you can't let that happen. Like, yeah, you could look at it two ways. You could find it to be funny. You could find it to be slander. You could find it to be unacceptable. Personally, like, is there some funny things about that? Like, if he's gonna call Donnie a hothead, fuck yeah, like Donnie's a hothead. Like, who doesn't know that? You know?
Great comparison, Jay. Great comparison.
Wait,
LeVar Ball.
He said
LeVar Ball says
annoying.
Okay, but like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just good for the sport.
There absolutely is.
There's nothing wrong with it, bro. Steph Curry's wife
LeVar
tweeted
Ball,
out
do you
that
remember
the
the very first game that
rigged.
Lonzo Ball ever played? Patrick Beverly got into his face and got under his skin and pushed him around, all because of stuff that his dad said. Lonzo Ball never said a word. Just
It's
like
fine.
Doug never said anything.
It's fine. It's
nothing
great for the sport. It's great for the sport.
Not
And
great
Lonzo
for the
also
sport. It's not good for Doug.
Lonzo
Not good for the other
probably also
person.
had more fans because of it. Great for the sport.
I mean, what he's doing is just making it more.
Doug has
uncomfortable.
fans.
Like, I'm not. If you guys know me, like, I'm the type of guy to look someone in the eyes and tell them what I think. Like, I'll tell you how I feel. I'll tell you what I think. I don't want my dad to be putting words in my mouth and making it seem like I think certain things about people. Like, I'm very big on relationships and I'm very big on just treating people right. And when my dad does something like that, it's just gonna tarnish a relationship, and I don't want to have relationships that are harnessed. You know, like.
Whoa, wait, hold on. What did Temp just say?
Temp said in the chat, everyone knows I'm a hothead, and everyone knows you be chucking up the bullshit 4 and 25.
Is that to Doug? Or to
Yeah.
Yes, that is to Doug. So I don't think that I can't tell if Doug is or Donnie's trolling.
So Donnie's actually
he's probably
heated,
serious.
bro. That he's a hothead.
Heated might be too far of a word.
I mean, he just called himself a hothead.
What was it? It was hothead and bad teammate, right?
Donnie is a hothead. I'll say it to Donnie's face. I'll say it anytime. Donnie's a hothead, bro. Like, I'm not afraid of admitting that. Here's my thing. I love Donnie because he'll tell me that I went 4 and 25 and that I suck, and then I'll use that to get better. You know, like, he's speaking the facts. Like, if I'm gonna go 4 and 25, I'm getting shit on, dude. Like, I can't be going 4 and 25. That's unacceptable. I gotta get better. You know, I'll take it at face value.
When did you go 4 and 25, Bella?
It was a stupid 10s. We just got absolutely smoked. Like, we're just running around, just getting smoked in a Zero cave with a sub.
Oh, okay.
It was just
Doug would get better if he was scrimming every day as opposed to
if you were giving him an opportunity to scrim, he'd be getting better. You know.
With zero, no, Donnie's right. I went 4 and 24 with 0 seconds. Do you know how unacceptable that is? You know what I'm saying? Like, Donnie's right. Like, this is what I mean. Like, that's why. Like, although Donnie is a hothead, I've never played with Donnie. I don't really know Don like that, but he's the type of guy that, like, he'll tell it how it is, and I really respect that because, like, a perfect example is like Damon. Like, Damon, I remember back in the day. I'll say it now because I didn't want to say it back then. But back in the day, he had that clip like, "Don't fucking call me Damon," and I was so nice to Damon. Like, I was the nicest guy in the world to this guy. And then he said that to me. The streams went off. Right? We turned the streams off. I said, "Damon, shut the f up. Don't you ever effing speak to me like that again. Don't you ever disrespect me." Like, I was going off on him.
Didn't you post that? I saw that video, right?
I was like, "You never fucking talk to me like that, bro. I put in way too much time for you to fucking speak to me like that, especially publicly." I said,
effing the fucking real quick.
He started like kind of rebuttal. I said, "No, shut up." I was like, "Stop. We're going to this tournament. You shut up. You do your job, and I'm gonna do my job." Like, I set a precedent with Damon. He never disrespected me again. We went into the tournament. I had this vendetta. I was like, he really thinks that I suck, huh? Like, drinking I'm like, yo, we won the event. And then after, you know what happened? We won the event. We're walking around. It's at that Gaylord Hotel in Nashville. That, like, giant estate. Yeah, it's amazing. And, you know, like, I put him in his place. I told him how I felt. And I think it really, like, set a good after that you won that with us, you were there. It set like a good like culture, you know, like it's all about like setting boundaries with people and just like accepting those boundaries.
It sounds like you got to do that to Donnie, bro. You got to put him in his place. Nobody's done that.
He doesn't have the opportunity though because he can't go to a tournament.
I haven't played with Donnie, so I can't say.
A tournament with Damon.
I think Doug could put Don in his place. Like if he's in the starting lineup and knew he couldn't get dropped, I think Doug would put Don in his place.
Look, if I was in the starting lineup and I went 4 and 25 and Don roasted me 25, I'ma just take it, bro. Like, what am I gonna say? Like, yo, what do you say to a guy if you're going 4 and 25? You can't say shit. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, Doug has chips. Like Don doesn't have those yet, so you got.
Not yet though. Don's gonna get one. Watch.
Yep. I mean,
could have had one last year.
I would love to win Don's first chip with this guy. I would love that. For the amount of times Don has told me that I suck and that I'm trash. I would love more than anything to win this guy's first chip with him, man. So I could be like, yo, I got that.
That's Donnie's personality, though. Don tells me I suck all the time. I know he doesn't mean it. I know he doesn't really mean it.
He tells me I suck all the time. I know he means it.
I like Don. I do like Don. Don's a good dude.
Wait, what if Don did get his first chip ever with Doug? He basically had to
you, man, the passion would be.
He couldn't get one. Don couldn't get a chip with Danny, with Austin, with Kyler, and he gets his first chip with Doug.
Don. Listen, you could roast me all day, bro. You could say I'm trash all day, but look, I'm the type of guy that takes that and like I don't get defensive or butthurt or cry about it. Like I'm the type of guy that I'll take that shit and I'll think about it all day long. I'll think about your face when you're saying it, and it'll piss me off. And that's what I'll be thinking about when I'm in a game. And that's what makes me a good player, I think, is just taking outside forces of motivation and just using it to just be the best you can be.
Thinking about Don's face would piss me off too.
No, just thinking about him just enraged, just you know how he'd be you suck, man. You 425-07. I'm like, I'll just be taking these visual screenshots of that, and I'll be like, all right, let's go, man. I'll start playing, you know?
Yeah.
Do you sit in on New York practices now? I saw you in the lobbies. Do you sit in a call or anything, or do you just watch the game and watch the mini map and stuff like that?
I've been sitting in a lot of their practices recently.
Okay. And how does the team interact now any differently with Suda? Do you know? Is it the same thing, or is it just trying to improve? I
mean, they love Suda. I mean, he's a member of our team, and he's a really nice guy, and he's a great player. He needs more practice, and he's getting good practice right now. He never really had a great opportunity, and this is his opportunity. This is it, bro. You're playing with some of the best players. You're grinding. He's obviously no matter what it is, if it was me or him, either one of us is gonna be in a situation where you haven't been able to grind the game as much as others, but. This is his golden ticket, man, and he's gonna go out there and he's gonna do the best he can. So, I think that the team really likes Suda a lot. They're very keen on him. They're good friends. He's a great guy. So I wish the guy the best. I hope he could go out and fry, because I'm in that situation too where it sucks. You can't get practice. You have to hope to God that you can get picked in 10s and grind. So if somebody gave me that opportunity, man, I'm not letting that go, bro. I'm gonna go into that tournament. We play an Empire. All right, Clayster, 1v1 5-5. I'm smoking you for these 10 CDL points. That's how I'm seeing this thing, I'm not letting myself get shit on. I'm frying, that's how I see it.
And I respect it, and I can see the passion. So if you could, and this is hypothetical, if you could replace one person on the starting lineup, who would it be?
I'd have to be Suda. He's the least practiced player.
Other than Suda.
It's not even Suda hasn't played the game as much. You would have to
other than
Suda. It's not a disrespect. There's no way.
If Zero was still in the lineup.
Trey was on the team. Suda's not a non-existent person. Whose spot would you take on the team? Would it be
It's
Trey's?
not my decision. I can't make the decision.
If you could, though.
I can't, though.
But if you could, just be like,
what you're doing right now is trying to put me in a situation where I'm gonna say one of my teammates sucks.
No.
Wait.
This kind of spineless, Doug.
Let me tell you something.
Listen, players want a team.
Doug, if Farzan was to call me right now and say, Doug, you're our sub, but you know what? We're giving you the shots, man. Who do you want to drop? Whose spot do you want to take? We can have that conversation, but that's not a reality, and it never will be. So Doug, I refuse.
Listen, players want to play with somebody who has a spine, bro. In the words of Papa Censor.
I have the biggest spine in the planet, and I'm telling you to your face, I am never going to tell you what player spot I'm going to take on a team when it's never going to be a situation, because I know what that leads to. I am refusing to say that.
At some point, if you're going to become a starter, you have to take someone's spot. And there are rumors that someone else is joining your team. I'm not sure if they're true or not. But you're going to have to take someone's spot.
Yeah, you're going to have to take someone's spot, my brother. So
I don't know whose spot I'm going to take.
Whose spot would you not want to take? You got to give me
Lamar's,
two.
Right?
I'd have to say probably Zero, Accuracy, Temp, Zuma, and Attach. I wouldn't want to take any of their spots.
That was
the whole damn team. Wait.
Oh, is it the whole team?
Zero, Lamar.
I'm never gonna. You can't pay me to answer that. I'm not gonna answer that, dude.
You just did. You said Don can hit the fucking road. Okay.
I would love to sit next to Don at a tournament, man. I swear Don would bring out the best in me, bro. I swear that guy would bring out the best in me.
All right. So let's go to the hot seat now. These are
Call
going
me
to be
soft, guys. I'm soft. Huh?
So I'm actually bringing the hot seat back when we have guests. So the hot seat is going to be 3 very tough questions, and you have to answer it. Like, or if you don't, like, I don't know what'll happen, but you have to answer it. So, question number 1: if you could replace one starter in the entire league, who would it be?
Ideally, and I don't mean disrespect because I really like this guy. I would love to replace Shotzi on Empire in a hypothetical situation. That would be like the perfect situation, 100%. Because that's what they need. They need a guy who's like objective based, plants bombs in search, sits on hills, uses trophies. Like that would be the guy that I would love. Because if I could play with Porter, Clay, Kyler, and Inder, I mean that would be an amazing opportunity, bro.
Placer, thoughts, Clay. And you'd have Rainbow Razor coach.
Wait,
Oh my God!
wait. By the way,
coach, man, that would be an
the reason I
amazing
actually
situation.
didn't like laugh at that one is because I actually think Doug's probably just as good as Shots here now, or if not better. Shots has been absolutely garbage, to be honest.
Wait, can I say
Whoa.
something? Shotzi is an incredible guy, and he's an incredibly hard worker. Like he's coming over to Call of Duty without any experience.
You don't have to say this stuff. Everybody knows it. We understand. Just because you say you want to replace him.
I really like Shotzi, bro.
I know.
But you're asking me a hypothetical, so I'm gonna give you the
you
answer.
don't have to say it. We all know that. You don't. You're such a nice guy that like it's just fun. Shotzi would be one of the best COD players to ever play when he's
I respect that, Clay. That's exactly
Clay,
what I
that
want my teammate to say. I love that.
Cap! That is cap.
Nah,
Shotzi's
you
one
guys
of the
are
best
tripping, bro.
COD players
Shotzi
to
could
play.
definitely-
Why would you replace him? That makes no sense.
Yeah, then
He's
why
gonna
would
be
you
one of the
wanna-
best COD players to ever play when he's done. That is horseshit.
Shotzi could be amazing
lot of-
if he
there's a-
actually just takes some time to learn the game, man. Just give him some time.
Wait, I'm
I never
not saying
said,
he's
never
not
said
going
he
to be
couldn't
good.
There's a lot. One of the best COD players of all time.
He's trying to set us
Yeah.
up.
Kidding
me?
They're trying to set
That's
us
on
up,
the
John.
list.
They're trying to set us up, John. Listen.
No, I believe it, dude. I believe it.
Listen. There's a difference between being one of the best players of all time when he's done, like to make that claim right now, than him just like getting better and being good. I believe he can be a top player for sure. Definitely has the talent. I watch this guy run around the map. I'm like, I could never do that. But like to say he's gonna be one of the best players of all time is that's caps lock, brother. I had a like moment of silence for that one. All right.
Next
So
question.
Shotzi. That's a good answer though, because I actually think you guys would improve at least.
Perfect
in the
situation, dude.
short
That would be
term, yeah.
perfect, dude.
Who is the worst player in the league?
Aches.
No, starter. My bad.
He is a starter. He just got
Okay.
benched.
So,
I can't comment on future starters because
That was
there
the
hasn't been an
quickest
event since
answer
Aches.
ever, though.
Aches, 100%.
Okay, but he's like not like rumors are he's not starting. So other than Aches,
But he.
Well, I can't comment on who's the worst starter when like there hasn't been an event since he hasn't played. You know what I'm saying? Like I have
Okay.
to see who's because judging off all the tournaments that happened so far, I would say Pat. But there hasn't been a few like in. If you ask me this after another tournament, then I could give you a different answer. But right now, it's Pat.
who was the worst player at the last tournament then?
What was it, Atlanta?
Yeah.
That's hard to answer because it's hard to say like the absolute worst player, and I honestly can't remember who played the absolute worst. To be honest,
All right, that's
at the
fair.
tournament, I honestly don't know.
Okay, who has the most undeserved ego in the league?
Undeserved ego in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like thinking about all the teams and the players on them right now.
What? These answers are horrible. TJ has a deserved
Everyone in
ego.
the chat say TJ and Tim.
I don't like how people say Don because Don's really good. He just hasn't been able to win yet. And I don't think Don has like an ego. I think he's just like I just think that's his personality.
Don definitely has an ego. I
Wait,
love it.
what?
Wait, I think that's just his personality. Like
I agree. That's why I love him.
I don't ever like I've heard Don talk a lot in teams and like I've spoken to him many times. I'm his teammate. Like I genuinely don't think Don has this ego
All right,
that
dude.
people say he has.
So okay, you don't have to say Don, but you don't also have to say he doesn't have an ego. We know you're trying to be on the roster.
Joey knows.
You know-
All right, sorry.
No answer.
I can't answer it. I don't know.
All right, and who do you think has the most undeserved ego in the league?
I'd probably go with Don to be honest.
Don?
Yeah,
That's a good answer. Don is annoying. And
I
he
love
choked the
Don.
chip.
I think it's hilarious. I mean, I had a
I think it's
delusional
hilarious,
ego
too.
too. I don't think there's anything
honestly,
wrong with it.
I just thought of this first. My answer would be Scraps.
You know, guys,
Oh yeah, That's a good answer.
My answer would be scraps.
Yeah,
Oh.
How much
honestly,
longer is that podcast going to
honestly-
be? Because I have something that I have to do soon.
we're gonna wrap up here in a minute, brother.
Okay.
Oh shit, shit's getting busy over there in New York camp. Yeah, but I'd probably go scraps or down as well. I think it's good. All right. Any other questions? We usually take questions from the chat, so we'll just do a couple rapid fire ones before you have to go. You guys got any questions for Doug? Throw them in the chat,
Any
guys.
questions for Doug? Throw them in the chat. We'll try to read off as many as we can. Whoa. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wait. Clown of the week? Oh, Papa Censor is the weekly clown. We decided that yesterday. For the tweet, we talked about it. These questions are horrible. Doug, do you see anything you want to answer?
Will Doug buy a new jet ski? These are the hard-hitting questions we need to know.
Do you think a CDL weekend is a chip, Doug?
Yeah.
I do too.
Because everyone has the same amount of opportunities at events. They all played at the same amount of opportunities, you know?
I agree. I just think the only problem is that the difficulty of each of them is obviously going to change because if the best team or whoever at the time is in that one, you can get a chip without beating
Doug,
them.
you going to LA?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll see you there, brother.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I don't see anything in
All
here.
right, well,
that
you
sticks
got to
out.
bounce, so we're going to wrap it up. We just actually hit 1 hour on the dot. So thank you guys all for coming out. Appreciate you guys supporting the show. This was a great episode. A lot of viewers here this time. Doug, I appreciate you coming on, man, taking the time out. I know we put you in some tough positions, but that's how the Codcast is, man. Hopefully things work out for you. I respect your grind and appreciate the time, my brother.
Yo, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Much love, everybody.
Thanks for coming through, man.
As always,
See you
this will
guys.
be live on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes tomorrow. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.